Hello, today we're going to be going over the top remaining 2024 NFL free agents today. So, the only actual quarterback on the list would be Ryan Tannehill. He would be a good backup option for a team. He was dealing with some injuries last season, throwing 4 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Moving on to running back, we got Ezekiel Elliott, Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins, Kareem Hunt, and Rashad Penny. A lot of them are big names that has done some stuff in the past, but may not be the best starting position. So I would look for a rotational like any other team has if they get signed. Moving on to the wide receivers, there's quite a few more names here. Got Hunter Renfrow, who has done some good things for the Raiders. Last season wasn't one of those years. Alvin Robinson, who could be a wide receiver 3 or 4. Odell Beckham Jr., who had 64 targets and only 35 of them received, 565 yards and 3 touchdowns. He could be a good wide receiver 3 option for a team. Michael Gallup, Tyler Boyd, who has been a great wide receiver 3 for the Bengals and has the capability to be a wide receiver 2 for a team. He has 6,000 career receiving yards and 31 touchdowns, and he's 29 years old. Got Michael Thomas, who was a big name a few years ago. Squeeze, Vanderlyn Scaling, Russell Gage, and Mecole Hardman. Got Carl Lawson, who recorded 0 sacks last year due to injury, but the year prior he had 7 sacks. Got Ngakoue, who is 29 years old, had 4 sacks last season and 22 tackles total. He could be a good rotational defensive piece, and you're guaranteed at least 4 sacks. Got Campbell, who is 37 years old, had 6.5 sacks last season and 56 total tackles. Be a great player and mentor for a young player to have on the team. Then you got Justin Houston, that would have a veteran presence on your team. Moving on to linebackers, got Shaquille Leonard, who is 28 years old. He had 1 sack and 88 total tackles last season. He dealt with an injury the season prior, and prior to that season, he was a star linebacker. Then you got Bud Dupree, who has done some good things in the past, not always consistent, however. Moving on to the cornerbacks, you got Xavier Howard, who had 2 down seasons, and then prior to those 2 seasons, he'd been a star ball hawk. J.C. Jackson, same thing, he had a bad season, and prior to that, he'd been ball hawk. Got Cameron Sutton, who has been recently arrested, so not likely he'll get signed. Stephon Gilmore, who still balled out for the Cowboys. Patrick Pearson, who had 2 interceptions last season, wasn't always consistent for the Steelers. And you got Levi Wallace, who also had 2 interceptions. And prior to that, he had 4 interceptions. Moving on to safeties. This year has been a great year for signing safeties. Got Jamal Adams, who is more like a linebacker at the safety position. Justin Simmons, who I don't need to say more about, Eddie Jackson, Quandre Diggs, Micah Hyde, Tayshaun Gibson, who've been balling out for the 49ers, and Terrell Edmunds, who is probably the youngest person on the list at 27 years old. He had 48 total tackles, 2.5 sacks, and 1 interception last year, playing for 2 different teams. Thank you for watching the video, and if I missed anybody in my list, please comment it below. Thank you guys, and have a great day.